No. Go now. Yeah, we kind of have to hear the DM. Okay.
As long as we can hear them, that's all that matters, right?
Now that won't confuse anybody at all.
Okay, there. I think people can hear me now. Now it's working. Okay. Sorry about that. Here we go. So, welcome back. We are playing Dragonlance. We're playing first edition AD&D Dragonlance. Might not be the AD&D. If you're a purist, I promise you I am not running pure first edition Advanced Dungeons and Dragons. Do not do, do, do not don't come at me, bro. Please don't come at me. But we are running some form of first edition Dungeons and Dragons, and we are running Dragonlance, specifically the original DL1 module, which I just realized is not at my desk. Now it is, and so we're running the original by Tracy Hickman, DL1. We are not using the pre-generated characters, so our players are not playing like the Heroes of the Lance, Karaman, Raceland, those type. Not, we love those characters, but yeah, we're playing our own characters. So it's that story with new heroes, new created, new envisioned heroes, and last time the heroes returned from their 5-year quest to see if they could find proof of healing magic or some sort of divine spark, some cleric that could, actually commune with the old gods before the cataclysm. And y'all came up with Bubkiss. And then we return to Solas, the town where you all left from. And Grendelide? Did I pronounce it? I am going to get it. Grendelide, she found a staff, a blue crystal staff, and when she returned on her way back to Solas, her brother, who occasionally gets visions, Grinnick was sort of guided by a vision to find his sister, and she was told by a blue lady, a shiny blue lady, to give the shiny blue crystal staff to her brother. And the staff kind of saved them. They were under attack by a pack of wild dogs out on the plains, and pop, they get teleported back to Solas. The rest of the party arrives in Solas, only to find that Solas is overrun with hobgoblin sort of enforcers and mercenary soldiers hired by the Seekers, specifically being controlled by the High Theocrat. His name is Hedrick, and he's got Solas sort of under his thumbs right now, and things are not maybe how our heroes remember them as they grew up here. The party meets in the Inn of the Last Home, and while in the Inn of the Last Home, there's a bit of the High Theocrat overhears an old man telling sort of old tales from before the cataclysm about Huma, the dragon, the knight who wielded the dragon lance, and the old gods. And he comes over and basically accuses of heresy. And there's a bit of shoving and pushing. And Benedict, being a knight and stepping up to take the brunt of all this, pushes the High Theocrat, and he sort of trips and falls into the fire and burns up horribly. And then that's when Grinnick, sort of not really of his own control, but sort of urged on by the staff, steps forward and heals the High Theocrat. And everyone witnesses this healing magic take place. And the High Theocrat, believing that to be blasphemy or some sort of dark magic, plunges his hand back into the fire to re-burn himself and then runs from the inn, and that puts our heroes on the run, and they've managed to escape Solas and go down to Crystalmere Lake, where they meet Old Terry. I love these like really common names in a high fantasy world. So they go down, they meet Old Terry by the lake, and Old Terry is sort of a mentor to our ranger Rook, and he says, you know, you got to get out. You guys are basically going like, we got to get out of here. He's agreeing, you got to get out of here. He doesn't push over easy though, but by the end of the session, he has agreed to give you one of his boats. He suggests that maybe you need to sink the other two. And I believe that, and you guys were going to flee across Crystalmere Lake before the hobgoblins and mercenaries come here.
We were not fleeing. We were repositioning.
Okay, repositioning. That's right, because the knights don't retreat.
For the sake of our night, we were doing a tactical withdrawal.
Thank you. Thank you all.
Would anyone like to add anything to sort of my quick recap there? Is there something where you're like, I think that most characters have been pretty astonished by the sight of healing magic, which if you're not familiar with Krynn and Dragonlance, healing magic hasn't been here in the world for like 300 years since the Cataclysm. 350 years. Tobin in particular seemed quite astonished by Grinnick's ability to heal with the staff.
Tobin.
Yeah. Does anybody want to add to that before we jump into tonight's session? Even if you want to give sort of your slant on maybe how your character saw things? Entirely up to you.
No, the only thing I'm curious about is how much have people changed? Like, we don't actually know our backstories and the people with us. So a question just, has the knight always been that kind of stubborn, and has the ranger always been Batman? I'm kind of curious.
I had a lot more hair before I left, but I was always older than I seemed.
You're kind of sporting the skullet now, right?
Oh, I'm 100% rocking the waterfall, yeah.
We really like it, though. I'm going to see if I can bring that up for everybody that's watching. It's a great picture. It's a great picture. All of our character art was done by Artemis, by the way. We'll throw that in there as well to give her credit. So this is the skullet we're talking about. So yeah. So has your character always been sort of, or is that a change?
I've always taken the oath and the measure seriously, even before I took the oath. Mm-hmm. I'm also 35, so I'm older than the rest of the humans in the group.
I'm gonna tell you something. 35 with hair like that, I can wholeheartedly identify with you.
I've seen some shit.
What about Rook? Has Rook always been so?
Yep.
By the books, by the numbers.
It's from his mentor. We gotta go. We gotta go. We gotta go. Get up early. Go do the hunt. Get back. Got chores to do. Let's go.
Cool.
Also, I think I would have queried about my sister. Didn't she wander off with the knight as well?
Okay, so there was a bit of an error in in our storytelling. So yes, Lagatha went north with Tobin and Benedict and was supposed to come back and meet you here, and she has failed to arrive. Maybe held up, but whatever the case is, it's not safe, or at least it's everybody here, like the hobgoblins and the mercenaries, they're all looking for that blue crystal staff, and they were looking for it before the blue crystal staff arrived here. So that seems to be the motivating factor right now.
I was just curious because we didn't talk about that.
What about? Yeah, I know that was my. I meant to throw something in the inn, but I forgot. We're just going to keep moving forward. What about our two spark hammers? What are your guys' sort of thoughts? Grinnick now can see that he's healed, obviously, which is how do you think that he'd be taking that? Grendelide is sort of following along right now, but we've left. There's a brother, right? There's the oldest brother being left behind, sort of right now. Did you guys want to comment on that? You don't have to, but if you want to sort of give us your character's headspace for that, that would be great.
So Grinnick right now can't think of anything other than the staff and how for some reason he knows it's super important, so he's over protective of it right now.
Fair. I think that's fair. Go ahead.
Tobin has always been sort of secretly terrified of the afterlife. If, like, the gods are dead, what that means for what happens to you after you die. He's always been sort of, like, terrified of it and been trying to figure out what's going. And now that there seems to be something, I have, like, a lot of hope. And
the only thing that I would correct on that is that Kender cannot feel fear, so he wouldn't be terrified, but it might be just an overwhelming amount of curiosity about what happens.
Yeah,
that would be my only guidance for you. That, like, because
Kender
can't feel that fear. How about you,
fear.
Copper? What's Grendelide feeling?
I think Krynn is shaken by her confusion and her fever. And I think Krynn is, like, recognizing that something really important is happening and is feeling an urgency.
Yeah.
I think that's, yeah.
Okay, cool.
And maybe protective of her brother.
Yes. And speaking of brothers and half sisters, so our I don't want to call him big and dopey, but Stephen is maybe not the brightest candle in the church. Yes.
That is accurate. He's not stupid, but he's not solving any math problems.
And he's very different from when he left, right? Do you want to maybe speak to that? Because the idea is that
well, he was 6 feet tall and weighed about 180 pounds when he left.
So he's like a
now he's
beanpole.
6'6". Yeah, whereas the rest of his family is built kind of like anvils. They're big and solid like a door, whereas he's always been scrawny. So he's managed to put on about 50 to 60 pounds of muscle and grew 6 inches taller. And just follows my half-sister around, who, as you recall from her pulling my ear last week, I still am very submissive towards.
Yes.
She is my big sister, and I will listen to her.
And is that sort of...
She's kept me alive.
Are we playing along that, like, that is Stephen's massive sort of physical growth is the result of, like, hiking through the wilderness with his sister for the last 5 years? Is that the case?
That's definitely been some of it, but he's also trying to do what his mom always told him and toughen up.
Okay, awesome.
Whenever possible, he takes on more load than he can carry, does more work than he should have to, hits things harder than is necessary, anything to, like, keep getting tougher and stronger.
Okay.
And of course, he's gorgeous. So
he is gorgeous. He is gorgeous. Absolutely. Kira, what? So Kira's got an interesting relation here that I just want to bring up. Is that there's nothing necessarily tying you to stay with this group of, like, other than your half brother being here, right? But in our background, we did mention that Kira sort of, even though Kira hasn't had any, like, direct proof that the gods exist, she still kind of feels like there's subtler things out there that are proof that the gods exist, like the white stag she sees from time to time and things like that. What's her thought before she crosses the lake?
She just wants to keep her not so little shadow safe.
Okay.
And she knows that he's going to be an idiot and go along with him anyways, so...
You were also sort of a force to be reckoned with at the inn, like people moving down the rope. Poor Worm was not moving quick enough, so you made her move quick enough?
Yeah.
So there's a business...
I'm the group mom again.
Okay, fair enough. Group mom. I like group mom. We can work with group mom. Okay, so...
Because I think I'm older than everybody, aren't I?
Being a half elf, yeah.
Except for maybe Rook, but I'm not sure.
No, Rook's only 22.
Okay, then yeah, I'm older than all of you.
Oh, then Rook's just.
I live older than all of you.
Rook's just a
Totally
baby.
forgot.
Okay, so we're on the coast of on the shores of Crystal Mirror Lake, and you know, old Terry is like, take the boat, but you're gonna have to sink the other two, or they're gonna know that I was in on it.
Yeah, I'm gonna go over because he's my mentor.
Mm-hmm.
And I basically he's basically my adopted father. I have a quick moment. I'm just gonna go over there, give him a hug because I haven't seen him in 5 years, and go.
Yep.
You know, on top of taking the boats, we're gonna have to make it look like you didn't give him willingly. You know, I'm gonna have to do something, eh? Are you ready?
He looks at you like, "Are you kidding me?" Like he knows exactly what you mean. He knows exactly what you mean, but he's like,
you know, if I don't, it'll be trouble for you. I'm sorry. I love you, Dad. I make sure that no one can see. I make sure no one can see, and I go, he knows I love you, Dad.
That's Tobin's sneaking around behind to give the whack.
Yeah.
I like that.
Did you whack him?
Yeah.
Oh,
with the hoopak?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna have you roll. Where do you want to hit him though? On the head?
Knock him in the back of the head, kind of knock him out a little bit. Yeah.
Okay, you bring down the hoopak on the back of his head. Rook doesn't even necessarily see it coming either. Old Terry lets out
I catch Terry before he hits the ground.
He grabs his head, and as he sort of like sets himself down, because he's an old man. He's a really old man. He's like Tobin 5 bars. Oh. He starts rubbing his head where a goose egg is already. You maybe even see a little bit of tears. You know when you get that little sharp pain or something, and you fight back the tears. You can see that Terrence is not crying but there's definitely water there. He's like, take the boats. Just take the boats.
Rook loses it. He just grabs a little hoopak from the little guy, picks him right up, and goes, "You little idiot! I was just gonna punch him in the face and just give him a flat. You idiot! I was just gonna give him a quick little smack just to give him a bleeding nose, and that was it. Now you almost damn near craned him. Get the boat before I kill you."
Sorry, you don't feel bad about it now.
The lump is very believable. I will say that.
Better be after that.
As Rook, as you're shaking, maybe Kira and our knight notice that there are torches in the woods moving this way. Maybe still 150 yards out, but the torchlight is like shining through the woods. There's obviously someone headed this way.
Kira steps in between Rook and Tobin and says, "We have to go now."
I'll rear guard. I'm not going to actually take a stand. I'm just taking a defensive position. It's okay, Steve.
Right. You hold him. You hold him, big man. I'm going to go sink the other 2 boats, and then we'll go.
All right, I'll hold him.
Excuse me. Let's sink the boats in the middle of the lake. Let's just let's pull them behind us. I can punch them out. Punch out the bottoms in the middle.
Aye, that's better. Okay, let's go.
Okay, so
let's go.
Everybody piles in the boat. Who's rowing?
Come on! Who's got to come protect us, knight?
Everyone's in the boat. The knight is the last one into the boat.
Standing in the stern, watching for arrows with my shield.
Okay.
The 4-foot wide guy is definitely rowing.
I don't think I'm strong enough to help. I've only got an 11.
I've got 13. I can help row.
I'll help row. I'm kidding.
Okay.
Or am I?
There's some bigger people rowing. Maybe the less strong. I'm not going to call them weak. The less strong characters maybe just work the till to get the boat across. So you guys get out onto the water a little ways. And Worm, by the way, they've just stayed quiet through all of this. Sort of just watching in fact, if anybody was watching when Rook sort of grabs hold of Tobin, They want nothing to do with that. Like, they don't even want to be near. They want no to be nowhere near the violence. So Worm like maybe was already in the boat. And
I would make sure my squire is rowing though. 100%.
Oh, okay.
Honest work. Get to work, boy.
We're gonna row in a circle.
Row.
So the boat gets out, and you're a little ways from shore, well out of torch range. The moon is sort of the largest of the moons. Lunitari is sort of lighting everything up, but not by any means bright enough for you to be noticed. So you push off across, but you do see the torches arrive at Old Terry's. Who they are, you can't tell. You know, they're roughly man-sized, so they're probably the mercenaries of the Hobgoblins. So a few torches arrive, and the boat crosses Crystalmere. You guys row for a good portion of the night until they finally bump up on the shore on the far side.
Somewhere in the middle, we'll definitely sink those other 2 boats with us.
Yes, I will assume that's done. Yep.
I'll have Worm do it. He needs to put some meat on his bones.
So you guys know that if you guys would know that if they think you crossed, I mean, the map, I think we're on the map, right? Yeah, we're on the map.
Yep.
So it would take them a day to round the top of Crystalmere Lake, and you know, the same most of the day to rounding the bottom would be the quicker route, but you've still put a fair bit of distance between you and them. Just because they have to do the long trip, unless they have a boat. So as you pull ashore here, there's a lot of... It's a pretty rocky shoreline. And you can see a few nicks and crannies, and maybe from your time here previously, you know that there are some caves around here, if you choose to, or you're welcome to make camp under the stars, or you know, you can push on into the night. Everyone is fairly tired. They've walked, with the exception of our 2 dwarves, you walked all day before you got to Solas and met your friends. So, you know, everyone is, I would say, fairly tired.
Look, you know the place. Where should we go?
I'm gonna go see if I can find us one of those caves so that we can crash for the night.
Okay. All right. So Rook sort of takes off. Everybody else is pulling the boat ashore. Yeah, Rook, you find something that you think the majority of the party can sort of get into. More importantly, the fire will be, if you light a fire to stay warm or to, you know, heat up some rations, it'll probably go for the most part unnoticed.
Perfect. We should get Worm to take the boat back out away from shore to sink it so they don't know where we landed and then swim back.
Sorry, you're having Worm do that?
Are you really trying to kill Worm, like, before she gets here?
It's my duty to teach him to be a proper squire and eventually a knight.
Tobin will assist Worm the whole time, singing songs about Worm's greatness.
Okay, so you're trying to prop Worm up. I like that very much. But Worm is like, I'm not taking that boat back out there and swimming back in here. I'll freeze. Like, it's autumn. It's cold night. Come on,
it's
Benedict.
Okay, I'll do it. Ready. I'll do it.
She's like, come on, Benedict, and she's hard on the dict.
Benedict.
Because I can already see Affy doing that. So yeah.
I'm gonna start taking my armor off and ask my sister to look after it, and I'll take the boat out.
Okay, so you're gonna take the boat out and damage it so it starts sinking.
Out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you're swimming back ashore?
Yeah, I'm not going out too fucking far. I'm not that stupid.
All right, by the time you get back,
to go out far.
By the time you get back, Rook has found a cave. You're freezing. You're freezing, Steven. Like the autumn night is cold, and so it's not. I assume it's not long before you get a fire going. Is that the plan? I mean, you tell me.
If I can do it in a way that the fire can't be seen, like I'll do the standard dig a deep hole with the dryer.
Yep.
I know how to actually do that, so it doesn't make from my escape and invasion courses how to actually do that. So I would have
the the cave is also going to help, right? It's going to block sight
Yeah.
lines and that.
I would dig
Yeah,
dig
we
a
can-
pit
we
down.
can-
I would dig a pit down about 1.5 feet, 2 feet, and dig a draw hole the other way. That way the smoke
Our-
doesn't kick up and you can't see the
Our
flame.
ranger has actual survival training. That's
That's
awesome.
actual ranger training. Yes.
True story. True story.
Well, not ranger, but I've had escape and invasion. Yeah.
Okay. Can you guys hear the fire sound effect that I dropped?
No.
Yeah, I was like, what is that? Is my cat
Faintly.
playing with something?
I'm glad you guys can because I'll tell you.
Yeah, I thought it was my cat too.
You
Maybe
thought it
I
was
don't
your
have
cat.
the music.
Where are my
I
cat
cannot.
people?
She's kind of like right back here, and I don't know what she's getting into, but
It's like it's not cooperating on my end at all, but oh well.
Yeah, I can't hear it at all. I'm sorry.
No, I can't
I
either.
don't know if this helps. I don't hear it on Discord or my my browser, but Brian has it on his browser playing. What's your browser?
yeah, it's coming through into my headphones. So
Oh well.
Yeah, it's coming through Chrome for sure.
I
Is
have
it?
Chrome. I can't hear it.
Just turned off.
It just turned
Yeah,
off.
now it's playing.
Now it turned to
Dungeon.
something else.
That
Yeah.
was weird.
No, I'm just trying to see if I can hear other ones.
that sounds like footsteps.
Yep. So everything.
Do you have a special effects pack going on now?
Oh well. We're just gonna keep going. So you guys, for those of you that can hear the campfire, good on you. Good on you. So you make camp. The fire starts. Poor
Kira
Steven.
immediately gets her brother near the fire.
Yeah, poor Steven is warming himself because some fool
gonna do-
decided he
I'm gonna
needed to
do-
sink the boat.
I'm gonna do calisthenics and push-ups and try to warm my core
Okay.
till I'm all glistening by the fire.
Okay.
Throw my tiny jacket on him.
All right. All right. So
I'm gonna,
as,
I'm gonna turn to my sister
yeah.
and with a very weakened voice say, "Lass, I need you to take this staff from me. I can't hold it any longer." Then I give her the staff and kind of not really collapse, but sit down quickly.
Okay. I assume Gren takes it.
Gren is overwhelmed and takes it and sits near her brother watchfully.
Okay. So the two of you are sitting, we'll say, on one side of the cave for sure. Are we taking watches, or what happens here tonight?
I'm at the cave mouth watching for fate to find me.
I'll stay up and help watch.
I assumed that.
I think
I didn't think I had to say it.
Somebody needs to stay up and watch Tobin.
I'm gonna do the actual ranger thing and head back to the shore and do a loop just to walk up and down to see if they actually followed us, found boats and came up to follow us.
Okay. So
I'm not just walking out there. I'm sneaking around doing the whole stalking
no, I
thing.
assumed you weren't like
Yeah,
over here. Okay.
I am here.
Splashing through the underbrush.
Yeah. So you go out and you spend a few hours maybe waiting,
Yeah.
but nothing. You don't see anything.
Like just probing up and down the lake just to see. Then
yeah,
making sure there's no way.
you don't see anything sort of suspicious in that regard.
Yeah, and doing the standard, take the tree branch to cover up our tracks.
So you're
it'd
gonna
be
do some
difficult for them
counter
to find it.
tracking. Do you want to give
Yeah,
me
so
a
they-
D100 then for that? The counter
Absolutely. And where's the D100? There it is.
I'm not gonna.
Love
I
these
have a game
buttons, by the way.
mechanics question.
Okay, go ahead. What's the
Can we-
mechanics question?
Can Steve sleep in his armor without penalty?
So, this is a matter of great discussion. No one's got like plate mail, right?
I got scale mail and a shield.
Yeah. So, I don't mind if you rest overnight in your armor. I think, or at least you would have like, you might take the the padded vest and the top part of the armor off, but I don't think you're gonna go totally unarmored. So the answer to your question is yes, you can sleep in your armor.
I'm going to be really honest with you. You can sleep in body armor, no problem at all. Well, if you're tired enough, you like go out like that, helmet, body armor, the whole 9 yards.
Well, my thing is,
sitting in your chair.
if your character is probably feeling like there's a possible attack imminent as well, I mean, you just find a way to be comfortable and you sleep. I would say that if it happened regularly, we might imply some kind of a penalty, but
yeah, you get punch drunk pretty fast.
Yeah, so everybody sort of battens down the hatches. Benedict is taking first watch, obviously. Let's split the night into 3. So who would take second and who would take third?
Who has night vision and low light vision? Benedict, you have to sleep.
I know. I would if I could.
You're fucking with me again, aren't you?
I have night vision.
So
I'm happy to hide out somewhere on one of the shifts.
Okay, so Tobin offers.
I'm kind of doing the first shift with Benedict.
Benedict's taking first watch then, and Rook is taking second. Tobin takes third. Does that sound reasonable?
Well, Rook's kind of doing first watch with Benedict because I'm out front, I'm out doing a whole perimeter sweep and trying to get rid of our tracks to make sure that we weren't seen.
Yeah.
Well, if you're doing that, I can
take
take second watch then.
Yeah.
Or I'll take third then.
Okay. So you do some counter tracking to sort of break up any hints of where you may have gone, and
they'll find us, but it's going to be harder than it would have been.
Mm-hmm. So that night, Krynn, you have sort of a restless sleep as you are bothered by these visions of the past, you think. Krynn sees let me get this here. So Krynn starts having dreams about a rotting swamp, and I use the term rotting because it looks like, in her mind at least, that the trees aren't. My dogs have decided to go crazy. The trees are not like they've been flooded, not like they've grown there all their lives. So they look rotted. They're covered in moss and vines. And then she has a vision of a dream of the shining lady again. You strain to kind of get a look at her, and you just can't. But the vision is sort of her giving you the staff. And then the dream ends sort of in a terrifying way. You actually wake up from it with a bit of a sweat and just sort of this black, shadowy form and these massive wings expanding from the smoke and mist. And before you can see what it is, you find yourself awake. You sort of stir yourself awake in the cave. Third watch. Who was third watch? Who did we find? Tobin? So Tobin, everything was going quiet, and then maybe you hear Krynn sort of stirring, and then you look back, and she's obviously awake. Everybody else is still asleep. She's obviously awake. The sun is just starting to come up in the east. The lake has sort of just a very light layer of mist sort of hanging over it from the cool night and the sun coming up now. Yeah, everything's kind of quiet, but you look back and Krynn has woken up and looks a little shaken.
I'll move down towards Krynn and see how she's doing.
Tobin, I keep having these dreams. This is not going to end well. We have got to protect this staff. I think we should wake the others up and go.
I agree with the waking the others up and go, but let's try to have faith. Whatever this is, it picked us, so Let's have faith that it's whatever this is going to take care of us, and let's wake these people up. And I go around and I just start nudging people.
Okay, so everybody is sort of woken up. You guys can see a little bit of light at the end of out the mouth of the cave. It's still cold. The autumn winds up here in the mountains are not very warm at all. So so there's a chill in the air. You can see your breath. The fire is not out, but I mean it's certainly sort of dwindling with the bit of wood that you had. Is there?
I gotta stoke the fire and eat rations because I'm starving.
Okay.
Me too.
Because I'm always starving.
Me too.
All right.
He's always hungry.
You guys begin to eat. Grennick, when you wake up, you feel like it's not uncommon for you to have visions, especially in the night. They're far more vivid than any dream that someone maybe has experienced. And when you wake, you actually feel really rested, and there's sort of a calmness that you haven't felt in a long time. You're pretty sure you dreamed last night, but it's very uncommon for you to wake up and not sort of remember it. You think you rested really well. And you're pretty sure that woman that you saw on the plains when you rescued your sister, you're pretty sure you dreamt about her last night. And people around you are sort of groaning, right? They're all stiff. Those of them that slept in their armor maybe have a little bit of a kink in the shoulder or something. Who knows? But yeah, you don't feel that way at all, Grennick. You feel like $1 million bucks. Like the day couldn't be better.
All right. I'm gonna just continue on having my nice day, but I'm not gonna let it be apparent of what I've, thought about or anything like that yet.
Okay.
I'm kind of just enjoying eating my food because I'm starving.
Sounds good. So everybody eats, and then once you've finished eating, what's the plan, everybody? What are you gonna do? So if we look at our map here, I'm just gonna ping the map. You would be somewhere like around here on the map, just sort of where Crystal Mirror is almost at its widest. That's where sort of the caves that you're in are.
Close to number 12?
Yeah, not far from number 12. Not far from number 12.
What's the plan? I'm not really good at plans.
Well, you said the quickest way around the lake was to the south, right?
If they're going to pursue you, they're probably going to pursue from the south because the road's there, and it'll be the quickest.
Maybe we go around the north end back to Solas and take them by surprise then.
How is that going to keep the staff safe? That's what we're supposed to do, right? Keep this proof of magic, of healing, right?
I didn't say it was a good idea.
I said,
There'll be plenty of fights, son. Let's go. Twin Flats, I think.
like the idea, but...
Well, if we get rid of the theocrat, then there's going to be no word outside of Solas. But, I mean, it's a risky plan.
where do you wish to go, Master Dwarf? Like, you're the keeper of the staff. Where do you wish to go?
Twin Flats is close. Maybe we get some information there. That's number 12.
Where did the staff come from?
I have no idea, lad.
Where is this holy guard that the person at the tavern talked to us about?
Yeah, the holy guard came through from Haven. So if you follow the road west and it turns south, it eventually reaches Haven. If there is any sort of capital to this area, for like the towns of Gateway and Solas, Haven would be the capital. I can let you, like, just to give you a bit of an idea. So the Darken Wood is supposedly a haunted forest. Like, people don't go to Darken Wood. So that's why that's why there's no sort of trail that cuts through the middle. You go up and over and down to Haven. or Solas and Gateway are the other way. There are seekers in Haven, and although the High Theocrat in Solas appears to be a dick, Grenick can let you know that Grenick was spent time in Haven after everyone left. Not everyone in Haven is corrupt like
A
the
dick?
Theocrat appear, at least the way the Theocrat appears to be.
Now, are we all aware of the swamp and the dreams that Grin's having, or is it just Tobin at this point?
Well, I don't know that Krynn even said to Tobin exactly what she was dreaming about.
Or just she's having the same dreams, right?
Yeah.
Protect the staff.
I think maybe did she tell Grenick when they got back to the blacksmith, the family blacksmithy, about what the content of the dreams were? I can't remember.
I think we acknowledged the shiny blue lady and that she had given the staff to be given to Grenick. But I don't know that we specifically talked about more than that.
Yeah, so we'll assume we haven't then.
And I think I'm feeling just sort of that anxiety and not sure what to do with it. My number one concern is the staff, and my first thought, like, no matter where we go, I want to make sure that Grenick has the staff again. And I think I've probably noticed he's feeling particularly chipper today. And I wonder if there's an opportunity for a conversation to say something like, the staff looks good on you, brother. You look like you're doing well. I think the shining blue lady's blessing is on you. Please take it.
I appreciate you holding it for me. I feel fit as a fiddle. And I take the staff back.
I wish I could say the same, brother. I've been having dreams that weigh heavily on me. I think we need to get going, and if you have any leading inside of where you think we need to go, you let us know. I think the blue lady is with you in some way.
I believe I dreamt about her last night. I say we go to Haven. What do you say, Sitz?
Aye, let's go. Let's take high ground when we can and avoid the marshy areas.
So you guys want to go to Haven, is what you're saying? Which would be number 19. If I'm looking at this map,
Yeah,
we are.
Don't
20.
read too much into these numbers, okay? So this is not actually my map. I just found that of the maps that I could find for the area, this one worked best. I think it had good color and was easy to read. So the numbers might not exactly be where the numbers. Do you know what I mean? Like,
But it's roughly plus or minus a couple of.
Yeah,
100.
it's a Kender map. It's only so exact.
But Haven is down there. Like Haven is located down in the south here. And you guys, like I said, are up here. So if you hurry on the road, in a few days you could be in Haven.
I know if I was being chased and I didn't want somebody to follow me, I'd go to Darkenwood.
Tobin's like, yeah,
I agree with him.
So we all set off to find proof of the old gods.
That's right.
Correct?
Correct.
So what were we going to do with it?
Well, I'll leave that up to you. Like, what your motivation for why you went to find the proof of the old gods and healing magic. The world is kind of changing out there. There's a lot of negativity, and people don't have something to believe in anymore. So this course, you all had sort of places. Some of you had places to go and people to see along the way, but the decision was that you would watch for this sort of proof of the old gods, watch for proof of healing magic, and bring it back to report, in the hopes that it would somehow give some sort of what's the word I'm looking for? I mean, I've already said hope, so I guess yeah. You were just looking for the hope, some sort of promise of a future that's not like it currently is, because the world seems to be sliding further away from, the tales of old, and people are becoming cynical and things like that. So maybe, I mean, as to why your character specifically was going to find it, maybe Steven really didn't care. It was just an opportunity to go
No.
off with his sister. But
Yes, that's all Steve wanted to do. But I was curious if
but
my
I would
sister
think
knew
that
what we were supposed to
everyone
be doing.
seeing the blue crystal staff and actually seeing it heal someone has kind of put maybe some questions or interest into your character. Again, I don't want to speak for them. Maybe your character's still kind of like, eh.
I think
So it's
going
early
to
morning right now, right?
It's very early morning. And
Haven is the capital, right? Is that what you said?
Haven, if there is a capital to this area, so these lands are sort of known as the Seeker lands, and the Seekers sort of run the show here. In that, and the Seekers are looking for, the Seekers have named all kinds of new gods that can be followed, but there's never been any proof that they have had any sort of power. That's what led Grinnick to go, okay, the Seekers, fair enough, they're looking for stuff, but I got to go elsewhere, and that's what led Grinnick to leave Haven and head south into the old Dwarven lands to try to find proof of healing there. So, the people of Haven, the Seekers in Haven are not, they're not believers, but they are looking for proof of gods.
Tobin
they
wants
think they're
to
going to
go
find
to-
new gods, but proof of the old gods might be worth showing them as well.
Tobin thinks that going to the biggest city is where we're going to be able to spread the word the fastest, and it can spread out from there. So I think going to Haven, seeking out people who could help us, work this out, I think that's the right call. But it's up to you guys.
Yeah, I think
Like-
we'll
Haven
have
it
to
is.
divulge our information first. Let you guys in on it.
I do know that Rook likes Benedict's plan about going over the mountains and going through the forest and staying off the road, going through darkened wood.
The other option is the knights would keep us safe if we go north. Some of the knights would keep us safe. There's some I don't trust.
I'm conflicted. I think we may have some friends in Haven, but why did the Seeker why did the Blue Lady give the staff to my brother if she wanted the Seekers to have it? There's something greater at play here.
But I'm being drawn that way right now.
You're being drawn to Haven?
Yes.
Then let's go to Haven.
It's enough for me.
I'll start writing songs about our experiences so that people can sing them to their children and know about all the great things we've done for them.
I get all my gear on, grab my sister's pack, grab anybody else's pack that want me to carry it, and off we go.
Okay.
Okay, while they're having this discussion though, like before we get moving, Kira's gonna take her bow and arrows and she's gonna just step out for a second. And where the cave is, are there like woods around the cave?
Yeah. So
Or
okay.
what's
So
around the
the
caves?
map. The map is noting like where sort of the heaviest parts of the forest are. But you can assume that if you're everywhere sort of along these mountains, the mountains are covered in sort of pine trees. So there is a light forest everywhere. Until you get like, if you traveled north into Northfield, you would get into open land. If you traveled out into Kute, or like the barbarian village of Kute, or the barbarian village of Kukiri or Kushu, those, now you're out in the plains of Abyssinia. But where you guys are right now, this is there's pine trees everywhere. You're in
Okay,
sort of like
so-
you're in sort of like an aspen mountain range with,
Yeah. Okay, so Kira's gonna step out real quick and just go where she's like out of eye line of the cave mouth,
yes.
and she's going to like sort of kneel down where she can grab like a handful of like pine needles or something, and she's just gonna hold them for a little bit, and she's just gonna say, kind of out to the woods, she's just gonna say, I don't know why you brought me here, but any help, I just want to keep them safe.
Okay.
And she's gonna kind of look around and see if she gets any sort of like, she knows that the stag only comes when she's by herself, so
Yeah. So you do that, and there's sort of like nothing out of the ordinary that occurs. There's a few birds, and you certainly feel as a ranger, being a ranger, you're certainly feeling connected to the land right now, even as an elf, part being a half elf, but you don't get an immediate sort of answer to your call. That doesn't mean it hasn't been heard, but
yeah, she kind of waits about maybe 10 minutes
okay.
and then starts to go back.
All right. So when you come back, they're maybe in the final stages of discussing where they're going to head. Grinnick says that he feels like he's being pulled to Haven. I think he said, correct? Okay.
Yeah, I'm assuming that Rook is the only one that noticed that I slipped out. So
yeah, I can tell you that Benedict suggests going through Darken Wood. No one would follow you into Darken Wood, but all of you would have some serious. Like, that's where the boogeyman lives from when you were growing up. That's where you believe it to be haunted. Like, going into Darkenwood is a serious choice. I'm not saying you can't do it, but I just want to emphasize that, like, you grew up in the area, and Darkenwood is no joke. Like, there's some sort of a curse laid over the forest, they believe.
I'm sure the Kender thinks it'd be exciting as hell.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Tobin's not
Thankfully,
afraid.
I think it would be quick. So I mean, probably faster to go through that way. I'm cool
I'm just saying
going
if they catch up
the
to us,
long way. However is the safest way. I kind of also feel that getting this word out is also very important. So I'm just gonna go over to the corner and start rhyming words that rhyme with haven, misbehaving, raven, slaving.
Well, the fastest way is via the road, because you don't have to bush bash, right? And bush bashing will slow us right down. That's what we're going to have to do if we go through the darkened wood. But if I were chasing us, and they're going to find the boats eventually, they're going to figure out where we cross the lake. If they do that, they're going to see our tracks. They're going to follow us on the road. They'll be on horses. Eventually, they'll catch up to us on the road.
And then we smite them, and then we take
can
the
do
forest.
that. We can definitely do that, or we can go through the forest. But we all know if we go through the forest, we might get ourselves into trouble that we can't handle. Those are kind of the options I'm looking at if I do it mathematically here, logically. So what do we want to do?
Tackle a horse.
Grinnick's cool with letting the soldiers do soldier
You want to
shit.
take the road? The road it is.
Well, the Darkened Wood was a last resort. If they catch us and they're chasing us, we go in there, they may not follow. That was why I brought up Darkened Wood.
And I agreed with you.
If we can avoid it, I think avoiding it would probably be prudent at this point, and have that as an option B.
Well, between my awesome sister and Rook, we'll be good in the forest.
But we'll be faster on the...
No, road first.
Yeah. Yeah, let's do the road.
Okay. So...
All right, the woods it is. Perfect.
The woods it is. Huzzah.
Wait, my head, what?
Huzzah. So off you go down the road. And, either side of the road is marked with lots of, as I said, pine trees. Remember, we don't have the big we don't have the big Valen Woods here. The Valen Woods are back in the valley where Solas is. And you know that ahead on this road, and you can start to see them sort of on the horizon, are the Twin Peaks Tassin and Fasten. And they stand to either side of the road, and when you pass between them, that's known as Shadow Canyon. Okay? And both of these mountains overlook the North Road that leads to the capital city of Haven. However, in front of them, and this is what you're walking into, is sort of a lush mountain valley. And although it's not Valenwood trees there's still a fair bit of woods. So you make your way into these woods, and I know our map doesn't really show them, but they are there. So you see these massive mountains towering on either side, and you know that the pass leads through. You travel down into the woods. How are we moving? Are we like in just sort of a single line? What's sort of, to use the term, marching order? Do we have a marching order? Go ahead, Artemis. What were you gonna say?
Kira would suggest that the rangers stay on either end of the party for sure. Like one ranger towards the front, one ranger towards the back, just to keep an eye out.
Okay.
I would be okay with scouting ahead.
Yeah, Tobin is okay with scouting ahead. And then who wants to be? Which ranger wants to be in the lead of the party?
I can take the lead.
Okay. So Kira's watching the tail end of things. How far ahead is Tobin going?
30 feet. Not too far, just enough to kind of give us an eye line about what's about it, so I can be like, hey, get down, or...
Okay, you probably want to put a little more than 30. Let's say you're about 50 then.
100 feet.
Yeah, okay. So you're out ahead, keeping an eye. Everybody else is sort of walking down along the road. Tobin, it's not... You're in the woods, and you're going to maybe be right in that canyon in the next hour or so. When up ahead on the road, you see some people approaching.
How do they look? Do they look menacing? Do they look friendly?
They look
like people.
Just 1 second. So some distance away, a group of huddled men pull a large cart slowly down the Haven Road. They're coming towards you, though. Like, they're headed towards Solas. They sway rhythmically, and coarse, heavy robes completely conceal them. They look like monks of some type.
I'm gonna stay low and sneak back so I can inform the party.
Okay. So Tobin gets back to the party. Tobin, by the time you reach the party, you're like they're gonna see you very soon. So the party has to act quickly with whatever they're going to do.
It's like, guys, get down. We gotta make a
Yeah, I'll signal the party to go off the side of the road so that they hopefully don't see us and won't report us. So should they people see us,
Benedict, what are we doing?
With Benedict, of course, won't do that, but that's okay. They'll only see one night. They won't see a party of
I
four.
could be a lone traveler, yes.
Exactly.
You guys be ready.
I'm driving in the woods before they see me.
So everybody's moving off the road into the woods, except for Benedict.
I'll stay with Benedict.
Because that is not nightly, right, Benedict?
No, and it's similar to when we met the Viewmaster Toad. I'm going to be walking proudly, like there's nothing in front of me until I expect them to move down the middle of the road.
All right.
And then there's only saw one guy.
Like I'm his buddy, you know.
All right.
I will greet them.
So
I'm not looking for a fight.
So as you and Tobin are standing on the road.
Sure?
You and Tobin are standing on the road. The rest of the party sort of moves off the road into the woods a bit. And one by one, these robed figures come into view. And as they get closer, you can see not only their robe, but they have wrappings around their hands and feet. And they see you. They stop. There's about 30 feet between you. And
I'll nod a greeting as I continue marching on my way.
They say, "Good day to you, travelers." And the voice seems a little like shaky.
What's up with the rags?
Like an old. Oh, these belong to our faith.
Which
What faith
faith
is
is
that?
that?
We follow the Seekers of Haven. They have found a deity worthy of worship. Do you come from Solas, friends?
We travel. We just here, there, a little bit everywhere, singing songs, meeting ladies, meeting
I'm
people.
from Salamia, obviously.
Oh, of course, the knightly adornments. Yes, we have heard that there is some sort of an investigation happening in Solus, and we fear that perhaps it is not safe there any longer.
Oh, I've heard nothing. We're actually on the way to Haven. So, what have you heard of the road up ahead?
Oh, the road through the canyon is quite good. Nothing blocked our way. We do warn you though. Our brother lies in the cart, and they point back to the cart. He's very ill. It might be catchy. We suggest you perhaps take a wide berth.
I kind of like peer over the cart.
Yeah, you're too short. So you standing on your tippy toes, and you're like you guys are still. Have we closed that 30-foot distance?
I've still been slowly walking. Yes, closing
Okay.
the distance.
Yeah,
So-
I'm sticking right by his side.
So as you guys move in amongst them, that's when they sort of give the warning. It might be catchy.
Like my
Well,
music.
And Tobin, you sort of peek up and over, and you can see that there is someone lying in the back of the cart.
Seems to be telling the truth. Sick guy back there. Let's I hope he gets better.
does he need water or food or anything that we can provide?
Perhaps if you could spare a water skin.
Give him my water skin. There you go.
Okay, so Tobin walks around the back of the wagon and back of the cart and sort of reaches his water skin in. And as he
I'm
does
keeping
that,
eyes on Tobin.
Tobin, the hand that reaches up to take it, some of the wrappings fall away, and there is a clawed, scaled hand, serpent-like scales that takes the water skin, and then we're gonna roll initiative as the monks set upon the knight and the kender. So let's get a map up here. As you know, it's Dungeons and Dragons. That's what we do.
This is very surprising.
Yeah, you know the books very well, and you guys have been kind of following the books pretty.
I don't know the books at all. I've never played this, so
I've never read them either.
I know nothing.
So we got.
I'll stop following.
Tobin.
Yeah, I've never read them. Several times. Watched the animation.
There's an animation.
Oh yeah.
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 I must just be really
At one
lucky.
point, they had a cartoon plan for the series, and Kiefer Sutherland was a part of it as the Wizard Raceland. It was also kind of horrible what they came up with. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that cartoon a gazillion years ago, but
Yeah.
I don't remember how it went.
No, it's probably for the best. Like, don't feel bad about. Yeah. I'm gonna put everybody else on here.
There's audiobooks too.
Yes. Yes.
I only read. I think I read the first
know.
chapter like 20 years ago, and I just remember thinking Raceland was really cool. That's all I remember.
Raceland is very cool.
My son's best friend is named Raceland after the books.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Cool parents.
That's awesome.
I think I've got.
And he's got an
everybody's-
older brother who's a giant.
I think I've got everybody's character on.
He really does. It's bizarre.
Check to make sure. So we've got part of the party over here with the monks, and part of the party's over here in the trees. Does that check out? So we're gonna do is
Sadly.
Can everybody see on this map? Or is it just black?
I can see the map.
We can all see?
Yeah, I can see fine.
Okay, good. Good. Let's go in here. I think we've still.
Yeah, we don't heal when we rest, do we?
Yeah, that's gonna ask.
Oh yeah, if anybody was wounded, Knight's Rest is 1 hit point back.
Oh, I'm only down 1. Perfect.
I'm still fucked. Okay.
I'm not sure.
Oh,
how much
hush, Otter.
you were resting at Solas either.
I don't show anyone down hit points, so
Okay.
Didn't get hit.
I'm
I
at
was down
27.
Well, Krynn was down from
I was
the.
down.
She was down at half when the adventure started, from the fever and stuff.
Yeah. And she hasn't got better.
How? It sounds like I've recovered.
I don't know why it's not
Somewhat.
tracking your token's not tracking your hit points. Hold on a second.
Okay.
I'm gonna dip to the wall soon to do this.
It's like it's tracking your max hit points, maybe, but it's not tracking your current hit points.
No, mine didn't. Mine reset to the max, but I'm actually at 28.
Well, on your character sheet, I saw that you were at 28, but when you changed it to 28, the token adjusted, and I have
it reset for some reason back to 30.
Yeah, I have Grend at 9 right now. Is that correct? Yeah. Okay.
I was at 9, and then we went to Solas and rested.
So you had 3 days there in bed rest. So that would be 2 hit points a day. So you would be 6 higher than 1 night in the cave. Give yourself another 7 hit points.
Okay. I don't know if I'm changing it in the right place here.
You can change it either on your green circle or right on your character sheet. That looks like it worked. It's reading. Yep, that looks good.
Okay.
Okay.
Awesome. Thank you.
So we're gonna do a quick initiative here, but before initiative actually takes place, the guy in the cart Tobin's actually here. The guy in the cart is gonna get a swipe at Tobin. So let's roll initiative though first. Here we go. They're gonna win initiative.
I'm totally parrying this round.
Yeah. Okay, I would assume so. And let me get. So the creature in the cart swipes at Tobin with his claw, and got a 15. Does that? I think that hits. His Thaco is 16, so he would have hit armor class 1. And what's Tobin's armor class is?
Oh, sorry about that.
2.
Let's see. My ace 2, yeah.
So he did hit. So he claws at you, Tobin, and you take a total of 3 points of damage from that claw.
Oh.
Ouch.
Okay. So now now it's their initiative. So they don't actually Tobin, these 3 here grab onto you. The guy jumps out of the cart and his 2 buddies, and they're going to grapple with you. And what I'd like you to do is either roll your, let's see here. I want you to just roll a d20 and see if you can get under your strength. But because there's 2 helping, we're going to modify that you have. So what's your strength currently at there, Tobin?
11.
11. So you have to roll under a 7 because there's 3 of them.
Right.
Okay.
How did you go?
Been nice fighting with you.
Oh, I hit the wrong button. Sorry.
That's okay.
What did you get?
Just give us I don't think there's an actual button beside the dexterity, so you can just use the straight d20 if you want, and you have to get a 7 or less. And to roll that, there's either a d20 on the bar, if you can see the bar.
Got it.
Or you can go into the dice. Yeah. Perfect. So they have you restrained, Tobin. They haven't hurt you, but you can see, like, between their wrappings, these things look like lizard-like or serpent-like. You've never seen anything like them before.
And he screams,
These ones come after our knight here, and they're not swinging claws at you, sir. They are swinging weapons. So they each have a short sword.
Okay.
Now you're parrying. So the first one you're going to have your high armor class on. So here
First two, because I got the shield as well.
Yeah, but the first parry's higher than your shield parry, isn't it?
Yeah, so I got a +2 to my armor class on the first one and a +1 on the second one.
Okay, so the first one hits armor class -1.
I bit -3 for the first attack.
-3, so that does not hit.
Yeah.
And then the next one, this is the one with your shield parry.
Yeah.
Only a 5, so that doesn't hit. And then there's two more on you.
Okay. My regular armor class is -1, so.
Yeah. Neither one of them hits. Okay. And they
All right.
Clang, 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 clang.
the cart has kind of fallen down. Now the ones that didn't attack, so there's this guy out here, and these three at the back, they start to spread out, and they're really watching the trees. They haven't seen you guys, but it's obvious that they anticipate that these two are not on the road alone.
We were expected.
Yeah, so it's now your guys' turn. Let's start with Tobin and Benedict, since they're right in the heat of it, and then we'll do the group that's back in the trees. So Tobin, what's your plan here, my man?
I'm gonna try and break free.
Okay, so let's do another D20, and we're trying to get under our strength, as they've got a very good grip on you. No, they're still like gripped onto you tight, and they're giving you a good look over too. They're almost frisking you. Benedict, what are you?
That's going to take a while. How many
Benedict
pouches
doesn't
does he
attack,
have?
does he? Right?
What?
Benedict doesn't attack because he was parrying, correct?
Correct, yeah.
So we jump out into the woods then, and what would you guys like to do in the woods? Who wants to go first? Is there anyone?
Well, I counted. I'm about 15 squares away from Benedict there, so I'm dropping everything but my sword and shield, and seeing how quickly my long legs can get me there.
Yeah, so if you flat out run, you can do 12 squares.
It's just about 15 to him.
Okay.
And then throw your sword.
I'm not throwing my sword.
And then throw your sword.
7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I can get about there.
Cool.
I can get about there.
This,
and I am.
This monk's eyes like go wide as like this massive mound of man flesh comes rumbling down towards the road.
I'm going to scream, "He's going to take them all!" And I'm going to chase after him.
Okay. So you can't move quite as fast, but on a full run you can do 9 as
Okay.
your little dwarf legs will carry you.
Is it possible to drop a crossbow bolt right between his little eyes from where I'm at?
Absolutely. Why don't you give us that shot with your crossbow?
Okay.
And I'm going to give you, when it asks you for a modifier to hit, put in a 2 copper, because it doesn't see you coming.
Oh, I pressed the wrong button. It didn't give me a chance for a modifier.
That's okay. So let's do it again right from your character sheet.
That's where.
Yep, so if you go into your character sheet, and we'll just disregard that last 20, that's fine. And go down to your light crossbow, and there should be a roll dice there. And then when you click that, give yourself a +2.
Give me +2.
Just to hit, not damage. Because it'll query.
What did it give me? I can't even see
you got a
it.
crit.
Critted.
You got a crit.
Yay!
So we're gonna double the damage here to 8. So the coral flies through the trees, and sure enough, just as you called it, right between the eyes, And this thing sort of staggers back and then goes very stiff in sort of an awkward position. And almost like it just suddenly paralyzed. And then it falls onto the ground and its legs sort of stick up like they're still bent. And our two closest, Steve and Grenick, and even Benedict sees this. The creature has turned to stone.
Whoa.
I've never seen that before.
Who else do we have
unusual.
left back here? We have Rook. What's Rook and we have our other ranger. What are you guys doing?
Yeah. Oh, my intent is to shoot this guy. Who can I see from where I am? Do you have like line of sight on this, or?
You can see all of them, my man.
Good. Then I will shoot this guy right here with my longbow.
Okay. So give us a shot with that. Again, when it asks for a modifier, please put in a +2 to hit, because they do not see you coming.
Okay.
Get your own mobs. I already tagged these guys.
That's the guy I was going to run over.
Okay, so I've done it, and did it roll? Or is it just roll 20
It did not roll. So there might be a modifier thing that you have to plug in. So when you roll...
so there's 2. Submit.
Yeah, and then 0 for the damage one. There we go. That worked. A 22 to hit, so the arrow flies through the air and finds its mark.
And I think I get another shot with my bow. Is that correct?
Yes, it would go... If they had second attacks, they would get that first, which they do not. So you can take the second one right now.
Okay, then I will shoot. Did I kill this guy?
It does not kill him, no.
Then I hit him again, if I can.
Yep. Just repeat the process. You still get the +2 on this shot.
Yep. Did it go?
No, you probably have a modifier window open.
I know, and I'm pressing it. Oh, must just be roll 20, acting funny. There it is.
Okay, for 6 damage. That kills him, and the same thing happens. Those of you that are up close, you see this creature turn to stone with the arrows stuck in it. Kira?
Those are some good arrows.
Kira wants to go after this guy here. Maybe. If I can figure out how to ping.
You just left click and hold for a ping, guys.
Haha.
There we go. Okay.
Arrows just whipping by Benedict's mullet. His hair fluffing by every time it goes by.
Rook, a 20.
Put a 2 on there as well.
Yeah, put a +2 to hit for this opening salvo. And then it'll query damage as well, but 0 for the damage modifier. There we go. A 0 to hit? Something has gone horribly wrong there. Attack 0. +2. Oh, did you put a... Do it again. Do it again, Artemis, but don't put +2. Just put a 2 in.
Okay.
I think that's what happened. You broke the macro. There. 16 hits. That does hit. So this one takes an arrow, and the damage is 3. It doesn't die. You do have a second arrow to fire, though.
Okay. Same thing.
Yep. Same thing. +2 to hit. No adjustment on the damage. Another arrow streaks down through the bushes.
Yeah, it's terrifying. They're just coming screaming out of the underbrush.
That one does not hit. That one does not hit. That one falls a little short. Okay. So now, Worm. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You guys see Worm sort of run way ahead, but she pays careful attention to sort of stay up and away from the combat. And you hear her sort of talking to herself over there. And with that, gotta make her check here. Hold on 1 second. Okay,
Is anybody
so
else hearing a weird noise?
I hear a crunching. I assume someone.
That was me. Sorry.
Someone had
That
a
was.
pop,
I'm getting
pop
candy.
bottle or something. Yeah, that's fine. Did you bring enough for everyone?
That's what the noise was. My son and my wife were just stealing from my bag of candy.
So Tobin,
yes,
as you're sort of struggling with these guys, their eyes sort of roll back, and their knees buckle, and they just fall down to the ground, and they appear to be asleep.
that's what you get for messing with Tobin.
And they let you go, and they're just conked out on the ground. Yeah. So there you go. I think that's everyone.
I'm assuming I didn't notice because I've got.
No one has noticed because she ran a fair distance away and sort of uttered the words under her breath, right?
Yeah, I've got a bunch of guys in my face. I would not have seen anyone.
No, gosh, no.
Falling asleep.
No. Okay, so we're gonna roll initiative again because that ends. I think everybody has had their turn. I didn't miss anybody, right? No. Okay, good stuff. All right, so you guys have won initiative, so we're gonna have you guys go first again. So Tobin, I'm gonna let you react first. So the three fall asleep here. This guy over here falls asleep. This guy over here falls asleep, and this guy behind you, you can hear him go like, "What are you doing? This is no time to be lying down."
Okay. I'm gonna kind of stop struggling and say, just give up. We're going to kill you all. We have the power of the real gods. Just stop. I came to help you. I gave you water. We don't want to hurt you. You're doing this.
Okay.
But you'll be dead in 5 minutes if you don't stop.
So you start beaking them off. They're not listening because they're asleep. And this guy in the bush is kind of like, what is he talking about? What is going on here?
I'm talking to him. I was trying meant to be like talking to that guy.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking to the ones that fell asleep. Okay. He does
That would be the best, though.
He does not appear to be ready to surrender. He quit. He's reaching for his short sword.
Okay, I'll run at him.
Okay.
And,
what are we attacking with?
A hoop pack.
Okay.
Crack this dude right over the head. All right, let's see here.
He had it coming. He's messing with Tobin and the True Gods.
Tobin is the true god.
Nice. So you come in and you hit this guy and you brain him upside the head. He sort of spins a complete 180. Does not go down, but like if this was a cartoon, there would be stars or Tweety birds around his head for sure. Benedict, what are you gonna do?
warn him.
He did warn him. He did warn him. Dude had it coming.
So I've obviously seen that these things turn to stone. So I'm not going to do any stabbing with my sword, but I will be slashing.
Okay. Swing away. Swing away, my friend. Swing away. That does
I don't
not
think
hit.
that's going to hit, is it? Okay.
I
got a second attack, but
yeah, you totally get a second
I got to wait till after. Do I have to wait till after? Because we going first?
Yes, technically they should get their first attack in and then you go. So let's keep going here and we'll come back to that. Steve, you're the next closest to the melee, so why don't you have your turn?
Okay, I'm gonna do something. Stupid. Okay. He wants to introduce this one I punged.
Yep.
To 300 pounds running at full speed behind a shield.
Okay. I like it. So let's move you to here.
I don't know what to roll.
What can we roll? Let's see. So You're proficient with your shield, obviously, because it's a shield. So let's have you just roll. Let's have you roll your dagger.
You got it. No hit modifiers or anything? Despite me being massive, I am very massive and I'm running very
You can
fast.
give yourself plus 1 to hit modifier because you've got a head of steam. He's not going to hold his ground.
No damage mods.
No damage mods, but there will definitely be a significant knock. An 18. Okay, so you just, and on top of that, it does 7 damage. So we're gonna go. You knock him back onto where the sort of the handles for the cart that they were pulling are, which does not help him keep his balance. He ends up on the ground over here and took 7 points of damage. He's not dead. He's sort of stirring, but you've definitely rung his bell. And
how
Benedict,
does that taste? Does it taste like steel?
And Benedict, it's like a freight train just arrived beside you. Grenick, what would you like to do?
I'm going to run down here. And as I'm passing Steve, I'm going to yell, "Show off!" And then I'm going to hit this guy.
Okay. And what are you hitting him with?
With my hammer.
Okay.
Gotta bring a sheet.
With the hammer. Drop the hammer upon him.
You got this.
Hammer.
Is it hammer time?
It's hammer time.
Your hammer, it's...
Go white guys! Go white guys!
You're going past it.
Is it in there? I thought we put the hammer in.
Oh,
yeah, it's there under weapons.
Yeah. Just missed tips.
If you have to ask, you need a bigger hammer.
Yeah. So a 16. What's Granick's Thacko? Granick's Thacko is 18. Their armor class is 4, so you needed a 14, so you totally hit. It does 3 damage. He already has an arrow in him. He's not having a good day. He does not go down. He hisses at you, though. And you see a mouth sort of... His mouth, the wrappings around his mouth sort of fades, and rather than having like a face like a human or a dwarf or an elf, he sort of has a bit of a snout on it, and it's lizard-like.
Ooh.
Who do we got the next? Let's go to our rangers, Rook and Kira. Rook, what are you doing?
It's not my turn. It's Copper's turn.
Oh, is it? Okay, Copper. Let's do Copper. What does Krynn do?
I'm gonna run in.
Okay, so 9 squares of movement.
9. Not very many.
No, you're a dwarf. You got little legs.
I know. Okay, let's see if I can do this. Oh, no, sorry, wrong one.
That's okay.
I think that's here.
Yep.
Does that look right?
1, 2, 3. You've done 4. You got another 5 squares to go.
There has. Okay, sorry.
Yep. No, that's okay.
So is that here?
4, 5. I think you got 1 more.
I'm not used to this interface. So.
That's okay.
And I can go. So I can go here.
Yep, absolutely.
Okay, that's better. Thank you.
And do you want to fire your crossbow again?
Yes, please.
Do it.
And I'm going to aim for probably this other guy. Can I ping him? Is that it?
Yep.
Okay. And
This guy right here, right? Where the blue ping is?
Can I do that? He's in the
you can
crowd with people in front of him there?
We're not worrying about that.
Okay, that works for me.
Just so everyone
roll
knows, AD&D had some horrible, like you would never shoot into combat like that in AD&D, but we're gonna let you anyway.
That's what I'm remembering.
Yeah.
Still a modifier or no modifier this time?
No modifier this time. It's just straight up.
Okay.
So when you fire into combat in AD&D, you don't even get to pick your target. You just go, I'm firing into that melee, and we randomly select a target. Like, it's nasty. But in this case, we're not going to worry about it. So a 10 does not hit, unfortunately. The quarrel goes just a little outside. Actually, sorry, you're a fighter. You have 15 Thaco. No, you need an 11 actually. So you just missed. You just miss. One of our rangers want to go now?
Yeah, now it's my turn. I am going to try to shoot this fellow right here. Is he in range?
Can you ping it again? Because I didn't see it. Yeah, I mean, you have a longbow, dude. So
Yes.
everything is probably on this map is in range. So
Perfect.
let me just check. So a longbow, I just have to check if you're in short range because I forgot last round. You have a special thing, short range. So short range for your longbow is 70 feet indoors, but outside it's 70 yards. So we're talking like 210 feet. So you're well within the short range still. So you're going to get +1 to hit and +1 to damage on that guy.
Okay.
At least I'm pretty sure you are. I'm going to double check for sure, but...
Yep.
The cinematics on this arrow weaving its way through all the underbrush and everyone fighting would be awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, like you're 80 feet from him. You're still in short range with your longbow, so...
Perfect.
+1 to hit, +1 to damage, and you'll have to add that modifier when it prompts you.
Okay.
I definitely envision it fluffing the mullet on the way by.
16.
Nice. Nice. That is a hit, my friend. And 7 damage. Tobin, an arrow sort of just arcs its way down from the trees above and hits this guy, and right in front of your eyes, you see him turn to stone.
Damn. Okay.
Does Tobin think he did it?
Maybe. Almost like the gods struck them down.
The gods did it, yes.
Kira?
This has got to be me. Like, those 3 dudes passed out. This guy turns to stone.
Something's happening. Something's happening.
He didn't get to staff until I was around. It's all about me.
It's clearly connected.
I think a song's in order.
Kira's gonna go after this guy. Maybe.
Yep. Go ahead and shoot him. I'm going to give him a little bit of an armor class bonus because he's kind of behind the wagon and Steve knocked him flat on his ass. But go ahead and shoot anyways.
Oh, I didn't know. So don't add a modifier to this one?
Don't add any modifier in. Nope. It's just a straight roll. Eight does not hit, unfortunately. And then you guys see Worm come in, and she kind of hides behind this log, and she yells to Benedict. She's like, "Looking good, sir! Looking good!" And
nice to inspire someone.
that will end the party's turn for their first actions. There's a couple people that need second attacks, but we have to let these guys take their first attacks. So we have one of these creatures has a choice to fight Grennick or the knight. Totally takes on the knight and rolls to attack. A 16, that probably does not hit because you have a ridiculously low armor class. This next one will attack Steve. Because how can he not see it? That is a total miss. That's an 8. This guy gets up, and he actually like runs over his sleeping friend here, and he's going to run past Tobin. But as he goes, he sort of swipes with his sword. He's sword. That doesn't hit, but he keeps running. So Tobin, you can take an attack of opportunity here if you'd like.
Yeah, I'll hit him with the hoopak.
Yep. Absolutely.
Oh no, where'd it go? There it is. All right.
I'm gonna see if I can between now and next session, I might be able to figure out some hotkeys for your attacks so that 21. Oh yeah, you crack him good. He stops right in his tracks here and turns to stone. Can you roll a d20 and see if you can get under your dex for me? And
13.
What's Tobin's dex? Is it like 18?
It is 18.
Yeah. So you feel as you hit him with the hoop hack, like he folds over it and then he sort of turns into that stone. And just for a moment, you're like, wait a minute, is my weapon going to get stuck here? And then you pull it free. Also during this turn, these two monks that turned to stone first, they now crumble to just sort of ash and dust. The stone they just fall apart. Now you guys can
peculiar.
Now you guys can take your second attack. So let's do the knight's second sword attack first, and then we've got 2 bow attacks from the rangers. That does not hit, Sir.
I can't fire roll tonight.
And
nobody can hit me, so I'm fine.
Rook, who are you shooting at?
Well, I'm going to shoot at this guy.
Go for it.
And it's +1, right?
Yep, +1. No, yeah, +1 for short range, for sure.
Wow, that was awful.
Yeah, you rolled a natural 1.
Yeah.
That does not hit. Kira, do you want to give me a roll to hit? Are you shooting another arrow?
Yeah, I'll shoot at this guy.
Okay. Roll 20 is taking its sweet time. There we go. 13. I think that's a hit. Your Thaco is 16. Yep. You need a 12. So that hits. Another arrow puts into him, and he turns to stone. To stone.
Excuse me.
Okay. And I think that ends the turn. Okay. So let's roll initiative. Probably one last time, I'm guessing. Okay, they get to go again. So all that's left is this one guy. He hisses again and swings at Steve because nobody likes Steve. They've heard things.
There's 2 at the back, aren't there?
They're sleeping.
They're just jealous of Steve's stunning beauty.
So can you guys see the 2 that have red X's over them? Those guys are currently they're turned to stone, and then everybody else has a little sleepy symbol on them.
Oh.
Can you see the sleepy symbol?
I do now.
I do now? Okay, good. Okay, so this guy swings at Steve. A 19, which may have hit. His Thaco is 16, so he had armor class -3. So I'm going to assume that hits, and Steve takes 3 points of damage.
Okay.
Does Steve have a -3 armor class? I think not. Okay, but he runs at that point. So can we have Benedict and Steve? You can both take attacks of opportunity here.
This is pathetic. I'm going to stop using my sword and just use my shield. I'm going to parry all the time.
Benedict whiffs again. It's too much pressure for the poor
Hit
guy.
it with Worm.
It's like somebody in chat's healed me. That's weird. Can't roll.
Worm is like,
no,
so close, sir. So close.
No mods?
No modifiers, nope. That hits for 17 damage. Oh my god. Obliterates the poor guy. Now, Steve,
my sword doesn't get stuck because it went through.
Yeah, I am gonna say that. That's so much more damage than he had hit points for.
Clove him in twain.
So he immediately he's done. And you guys notice that not only are these like sort of reptilian creatures, they have wings hidden beneath their robes and cloaks. Very.
How tall are they?
As tall as a human.
I'm gonna start tying up the 3 who are sleeping.
Yeah, there's 5 asleep. So are we tying
Okay,
them
I'm
all
gonna
up?
start. Yeah, I've got 50-foot rope. Hopefully that's enough.
I'm going to help him.
Okay. So you guys
I'm
drag
just
the
going to
5
start
to...
bashing skulls.
Sorry, we're gonna tie
Go
up
ahead and
2
tie
of
'em up.
them. We're gonna tie up 2 of them.
I gotta hit something. Come on, guys, give me a coup de grace.
Are you
tie
killing
the
one,
rest.
Benedict?
Suppose we only need one to talk.
No, it's not nightly.
It's not
Yes,
nightly. You're
I'm
right.
not
It's
a
not
knight.
nightly.
No.
Okay.
I'll stand guard gloriously, proudly while they tie
You're
them
not
up.
gonna let me smash them?
I'm not going to stop you.
Okay, so we
I'm
tie
just
up
not
2
going to
of them.
participate.
Okay. Does Steve
Because
finish
the
off
other
3 of
3 are
them?
dead. Oh yeah.
I say you kill one and then use the stone body to kill the other 2 before it turns into ash.
Sure.
Like a big
Why
club.
not?
You stone him with his buddy's body.
Yeah, I just pick up one guy and beat the other 2 to death with it.
Okay. That tracks. That tracks.
I don't even use my weaponry.
As Worm comes out from hiding behind the log, she sort of pats you on the shoulder, Benedict. It's okay.
Hopefully my actions have inspired you, boy.
Absolutely, sir. Absolutely.
I didn't hit anything, but nobody hit me. I protected my friends.
This is true.
What's
This is
in that
true.
wagon?
The best defense is a good offense.
So in the wagon was just the guy lying down. There's a small sort of satchel tied shut.
Got a satchel here. Satchel. Let's see what's in it. Let's see what-
So inside the satchel, just rations.
Just food.
A few days.
Did you say
worth
food?
of- Yeah, there's food in it.
Ooh, food.
Hold on to this. I'll take my water skin back while I'm here. Jerk.
Inside the satchel is the bag man. Wah! Wouldn't that be horrible? We're going for Dragonlance to Ravenloft. Brace yourselves. Yeah,
So on the
you
ones that were
find
tied
about
up-
half a dozen days worth of rations for one person. It would have lasted these guys basically until they got to Solas. And do you wake these guys up then?
I think we should search them before they wake up because their body's disintegrated and see if we can. There's any identifying marks or I don't know. I've never seen these things before.
Yeah, I like to take the wrappings off of them so we
Yeah.
can get a good look at these guys.
So
What's up with the cart?
So
Sorry.
the two that remain, you unwrap them, and you are looking at sort of, for all intents and purposes, dragon-men.
Whoa.
Interesting.
A dragon. And you said something.
There
about-
has not been a dragon in Krynn for like over 1,000 years, like even before the cataclysm happened. So like dragons
I like
are kind
I've been poking at him.
yeah, dragons are just not. They're not a thing. They're folklore. But these guys, for lack of a better word, are like winged lizard men, which sort of makes them sort of sound like dragons, right?
I say we keep one of these guys alive, tie him up real good, and then we bring him with us as evidence of more weird crap going on out here. They might say, hey, we don't believe in the gods are back, but then we're like, look at this guy.
Well, I say we wake them up and question them, find out who they are, where they're from. What say you all?
I slap one. And
Okay.
yell, wake up!
So we wake one of them up.
Oh, good.
And he quickly looks at you all and then snarls. And says,
I'd be careful. My friend Steve over here wants to bash your brains in. You might want to just tell us where you're coming from. Where are you from?
He looks at this Kender sort of like giving the interrogation. He looks past the Kender at the rest of you sort of gathered around, and he says, "We serve the seekers of Haven."
I doubt that.
Seekers of Haven.
I've seen the Seekers from Haven. They don't look anything like you, lad.
Maybe not. But soon, my brethren will be here.
Were you born this way?
Baby, I was born this way. Yeah, I was born this way.
How old are you?
He looks at you like these have become very odd questions.
I've never seen somebody like you.
The Kender's asking the hard questions. I love it.
Yeah. How old are you? Where do you come from? Were you born this way? So he looks around at the rest of you and just he goes silent. And you notice that like one by one he's sort of scanning you and he's checking out what you're carrying maybe. He's obviously looking for something.
Kira walks over to like this dude right here.
Yeah.
That's sort of laying there. And just very calmly leans over him and aims her bow right at his forehead.
Okay.
I would answer their questions.
So he looks at you and he says, I'm not afraid of you, elf. You're not, and it's hard to get a read on him. I'm not afraid of you, elf. Soon your forests will burn.
You guys want to cut his wings off?
Threaten my sister, fucker? I'm gonna slap him to sleep again.
You're gonna slap him to sleep again? Before the arrow goes off, unless Kira lets loose the arrow. Kira, you could totally beat him to the punch if you'd like.
No, it's more of a show of force than anything.
Okay. So with that...
And that would be me.
A big meaty fist comes in. And he's unconscious again.
Now we'll talk to the other one.
Okay.
I point to Tobin. Go ahead. Listen to our leader. Go, Tobin.
Oh, I walk over to him. I start tying him up.
It's terrifying that you could have a Kender leader. Okay, so you go to the next one, wake him up.
Slap him on the face.
Yeah, he looks around. He sees his friend that's been beaten into unconsciousness.
He ran his mouth the wrong way. I need you to run your mouth the right way and give me something useful. Otherwise, you're going to look like him.
Okay. He's just about to say something when Rook and Kira, you guys get the wind blows past you, and you can smell smoke, like maybe torches or a campfire that's been extinguished, coming from the canyon.
From where we're going, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. The other one
said
said
their brethren would be here soon.
Yeah, their brethren. I think they're coming. I said, hey, gentlemen, I think we should get, ladies and gentlemen, we should get off the road. Something's coming. There's something down the road. I can smell it.
I'll go take a look.
Let's drag these two off with us.
Okay.
Kira just motions at the one that's awake now and just motions at Steve.
I just read chat now, and Gren's like, "Are you single? Are you single? What's your availability?"
Yeah.
It's been lonely living with my two brothers.
It seemed like where the line of questioning was going. I'm sorry, I couldn't help myself.
It was awesome. That's awesome. Okay, sorry, Kira. What do you do?
She leaves.
She leaves. She got shit to do.
She's taking a moment.
What am I supposed to be doing again, sis?
Kira, what were you saying?
Getting the cart off the road.
She just motions at the one that's awake and says, looks at her brother. This one as well.
Oh, okay.
Okay, you smash.
Yep. And then get them
smash
off
their
the
heads
road.
together. And then are you dragging them off, or are you putting them in the cart, or what are we doing?
What is pulling the cart? What was pulling
Nothing.
the cart?
It's like a hand cart.
Okay, well, I
Steve is
toss
pulling
one.
the cart.
Yeah, I toss one in each hand, and then I just drag the cart quickly off the road.
Okay.
If that's where we're going.
As the cart sort of rattles off the road, and everybody sorts of everybody else is moving off the road, I assume.
Yeah, I'm going in these trees.
Except Benedict, he's going to stand in the middle of the road, fingering
you hear
things.
You hear a horn blow in the pass.
Is that coming from the direction of the
What
smoke?
kind of horn?
Well, not like a clown honky honky. It's like some kind
No,
of like.
but like,
Not
does
a
it
kazoo.
sound like?
It's a deep drone. Like boom.
Okay.
Like a war horn, right?
Sure, it could be a war horn.
Not a hunter's horn.
No.
Yeah, not something that would be used by like a party of 4.
Well, it's just a low drone that echoes out of the. Because you're coming up on that narrow pass, right? Where the canyon leads through the mountains. Yeah, and you hear that. So you pull the cart off, everybody sort of hurries off, and they can hear that horn.
Is Benedict getting off the road, or is he staying on the road?
Now that I've heard the horn, it may be prudent to step off the road for your safety.
Thank you. Thank you for thinking about us.
The sacrifice
For
I'm making on all your behalf.
observational purposes.
Yes, exactly. So you guys move up off the road. The cart is not friendly once you get off the road, like because there's bushes, there's ruts, there's like down trees. It's making it a little difficult, but you manage to drag it a little bit off the road, and you're sort of out of sight, but not so far off the road that you would feel safe, if you know what I'm saying. Like you're still well within short bow, like a short range of your bows and that. So for volleys and things like that, and you see up ahead on the road coming towards you is a column of what appears to be soldiers, and there is a number of banners aloft, and they look to be carrying the banners of Haven.
Human soldiers or elven soldiers? Humanoid?
At this
Or
range,
too
you
far
can't
away to
tell.
tell?
At this range, there's some significant distance. We're talking like 300 yards here. You're just sort of seeing them like through the woods, right? But there's definitely a column, and they're marching. There's like hundreds of troops approaching.
Okay, how much does a cart and everything weigh? Because I can probably just shoulder it and haul it into the woods, or do we leave it here?
As long as
Someone
the
tell me
cart's
what
out of
to do.
sight, I think we take the 2 little captives and leave the cart. Personally,
I'm curious if the two are connected. You know, a bunch of weird dragon people, and now a bunch of army guys coming behind them.
well, they said they were working for the Seekers out of Haven, so
Yeah, it's probably their buddy. So let's grab
might have
them
been
and
the
go.
Scouts.
Okay.
Okay.
So
It also did seem like they were.
who's carrying the 2 dragon men? Is Steve
Me.
hauling them both?
If someone carries my shield,
So you throw someone your shield. Tobin, I love that. Tobin takes
Yeah,
the
I'll
shield.
take it.
You put one of these guys up on one side, someone helps you on the other, and like a great ox, like a great beast of burden, you guys begin to move up off the road.
aye.
Okay. Again, the horn blasts. It hasn't been that long. And as they get a little closer, you can see that the column consists mostly of hobgoblins.
Yeah, that's bad.
And when
We should go back out to the road.
Oh,
I'm kidding.
don't make me throw one of these at you.
as they begin to come down out of the mountain pass, out of that canyon between the two mountains, they start to then disperse, almost like in a search out into the woods.
Oh shit! They're gonna find us. Okay.
I step out, and I go, and I start playing a song, and I say, "Hello, how are you guys doing today?"
Oh
Oh my
no!
God, we're all gonna die.
Kira like tries to like grab him and just barely misses and goes.
So before you can get your hand on him, Kara, Tobin's like out on top of a log, like playing a tune.
Yeah, I'm just playing a tune, letting them know I'm here, trying to keep the distraction away from my friends and the people who have the gods.
Where is everybody else just
ears.
heading deeper into the woods?
Yeah, I think
Beeline. Oh, sorry. I'm making a beeline for my brother and sort of trying to get between him and the road and push him deeper into the woods.
Okay.
Making comments like, it looks like something has changed with your seeker friends.
As she's pushing me, I'm saying, "Aye, that's not the same lads I used to know."
All right. So maybe a hobgoblin, takes note of the Kender playing, and he's like he calls. He motions to others. He goes, "There's someone down there. There's someone down there," and close to 100, maybe even 200 hobgoblins have pushed out of that canyon into that bit of forest that we talked about, and they start moving in your direction. They're still a few hundred yards from you, of course, but yeah, they're definitely on their way to get you.
Gotta go.
I turn and I run into the woods on the opposite side and try to get them to come after me.
Okay. Do you want to use your Kender Taunt ability to do that?
Yes,
So
I do.
just so we're clear, you're going to try to lead let's call it an army, the army of hobgoblins, away from your friends?
Yes, I'm going to try and hope. My hope is that I can get them to come after me and then sort of use my size to disappear into the woods a little bit and give my friends enough time to plan, get away, whatever they need to do, and then I'll find them.
Okay.
I know they're going to Haven.
So you guys see Tobin sort of begin to lead them on a wild goose chase as he yells many a Kender taunt at them. What do the rest of you do?
A wild Kender chase. This ends badly.
I shake my head.
I'm not
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to just kind of motion for the group to follow me, and I'm going to do a beeline. This is the map. I'm going to go east, right through the trees.
Yeah, so let's go back to our big map just to get sort of a grip on where we are here.
Yeah.
So we are up in the northwest corner here. Mm-hmm. So you guys were almost to the gap here.
Okay.
Can we see the ping?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think we're gonna have to go south.
So it doesn't show it on the map here, but just note that like all this area along here is the mountain range. There's woods and everything.
Yeah.
If you cross the mountains, you'll be going into Darkenwood.
I'm gonna just lead us south so we can go off the road.
Yeah.
Basically towards number 9, whatever that is.
Okay, so you guys are moving down into the woods here. And just so I'm clear, Tobin is like running across the road. It's still forested here, even though our map doesn't show it. Sort of in the direction of Northfields.
Yeah, okay. I'm seeing anything I can that sounds terrible about hobgoblins.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Kender are fantastic at their ability to enrage people, so that's no problem. That's no problem. Like you guys see that they immediately you see your Kender tear to the north, and they give chase, for sure.
Somebody grab my shield. Let's go.
Okay, so you guys.
Tobin's got your shield.
Rook leads you.
He does not have my shield.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Tobin said he had your shield.
But there's no way he's carrying it and running. It weighs what he does.
See the little guy doing this with the shield.
Do you still have my shield, you little bastard?
I don't have your shield. I was trying to assist you.
So you have my shield.
I do not have your shield.
Okay, who took the shield then? Because Tobin dropped it.
I would have been keeping eyes on Tobin, so
I'm gonna say
I'll
no.
grab the shield.
I'm gonna say Worm being a good squire.
Oh God, thank you.
Picks up the shield.
By
And
the old gods.
you guys retreat into the southern woods. And we're going to take a brief pause there. We're going to give everybody a chance to use the washroom. And then we'll be right back. And we'll see if Tobin can actually find the party that he just ran away from.
He just has to follow the
I feel
chaos.
like
No, because I'd be asking, he's going to Artemis use her ranger tricks to start to conceal our trail from the hobgoblin.
We're back. We're back. Okay, so
And we're back.
So this is what we're gonna do. We're just gonna fast forward a little bit here. So I'm gonna say that Tobin has been gone for about a half an hour. You guys have made your way sort of along the ridge lines of the mountains here, and staying hidden in amongst the pines. And Tobin, you are in a serious foot race of staying one step ahead of these hobgoblin scouts.
okay. I'm gonna just keep evading, looking for a place to hide, or to double back.
The party, you guys see, like, the 100 goblins look like just the forward units. There sounds like there's more things coming through the pass. You can hear horns and drums and things like that.
Rook's going to go up to Kira and say, look, I'm going to have to go back and get the little fella or he's not going to find us. You can take the party and we'll meet. Where can you lead the party to this so that I can come back and find you? Because he's never going to find this on his own, but I can go get him and get him back to us.
So the map isn't quite accurate here, but the closest mountain that sort of is a landmark would be Prayer's Eye Peak.
Is there? So would Kira know of a pass near here that leads south?
You'd be able to find a game trail or something, and you'd be able to cover the tracks, but I would be able to find you.
So there's not any really used trails that go up and into Darken Wood because nobody really goes there. That's not to say that Kira couldn't guide the party over the mountains.
Yeah,
you'd find deer tracks and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I would be able to find you. So I'm going to leave the party and go back to try to get.
I mean, if you want to use Prayer's Eye Peak as sort of a landmark, you and Rook can sort of decide how, I'll meet you 3 miles west of Prayer's Eye Peak or something. Do you know what I mean? You could use it as a reference point.
Yeah.
What's number 9? That's closer.
Kira kind of looks at the rest of the group, and she goes, "Is our plan to go south now?"
Well, the plan. I can tell you that your plan to go down the road is going to lead you through that pass, and
she's talking about going south.
Oh, okay.
In Darkwood.
Into Darkenwood.
Yeah.
And then south of Darkenwood, you get into the forests of Colonesti, which is elven forests.
Yeah, we kind of have to go that way.
Where are we going?
Shit about that.
Yeah, we're being forced that way.
Yeah, we're literally being forced that way.
Didn't they just say they plan to burn the woods, though?
That's the elf woods.
Okay, fair enough. You're right.
So Kira would say to meet them, meet the rest of the party somewhere near 9, and then they'll head south from there.
Done. I'm gone. I'm heading back the other way to get Tobin.
If it's safe, see if you can get an eye on what we're up against with this army coming out of the pass. If it's all hobgoblins or if it's...
Okay, so I'm sorry. Where did you plan to meet?
Whatever
Basically, we're number
number
9 is.
Okay.
Whatever that is, we're going to number 9.
No, that's fine. So on the map, rather than heading east further, you're going to start going up and over the mountains.
Kira's gonna try and find a game trail that's a little bit lower on the mountain, and try to lead them south, where she knows that it's gonna be safe.
Okay.
Safe adjacent.
Okay. And with your height, you're going to be able to, get an idea of what's coming through that pass.
Side note, Steve is carrying living creatures on the hike.
Yes.
Just want to put that out there because his
No, I
quads
think that we should dispatch them.
His quads
Should get rid of
eventually are going to give up.
Yeah, you're carrying quite a load with 2 of them.
Yeah, like 400 pounds or
Yeah,
so.
and that's why, until they made a decision about what to do with them, Kira was going to lead them on a game trail that's a little bit lower on the mountain.
Yeah, okay.
Rather than trying to go right up and over, she's going to lead them around the base on a game trail.
All right.
One that would kind of circle the base.
So
because it'll be easier footing for Steve. So.
And we're sort of making a move for where number 9 is on our map, correct?
Mm-hmm.
That's sort of the general direction that you're leading. Okay.
Yeah, that's where we're going to try to meet up.
All right.
Benedict, do I need to keep these guys?
Well, we can't release them, but I don't think bringing them with us would be a prudent option. So I will leave it up to you.
All right. I have to tie my shoe.
I'll scout up ahead. I'll make sure it's safe up ahead on the trail.
So are we doing away with the dragon men?
I don't know. Are we?
I believe heads will turn.
Okay.
Given enough force.
Yeah,
I'm gonna check.
You're gonna do a little bit of chiropractic work for them.
I'm gonna check.
Too bad there's no cliff nearby. He can do the Schwarzenegger. I let him go.
I already thought about that.
There's definitely cliffs nearby. Okay.
Yeah, but I'm just gonna twist some heads. It's quieter.
All right.
I don't have to walk there.
So the party moves up into the sort of the low peaks, and Kira does her best to lead them. So Kira, I'm gonna have you roll a D100, and we're gonna consult our ranger table here. This will be fun.
I come back with rope and tell them I released them.
Okay, I released them.
I rolled a 92.
A 92.
I'm not lying. They're untied.
Wouldn't it be horrible if I said a lower roll is better?
Yeah, yes. I would cry.
A lower roll is better.
Oh.
Okay.
So we found Tobin.
Yeah, that's a good number.
We found him before Rook does.
He's on the path.
Rook's like, what are you guys doing here?
So, you, Kira, you lead the party up into the mountains, and at one point you sort of the group finds themselves on top of a cliff, and there's been a little bit of a hike here, so everybody just stops to take a breather. And Kira looks down the mountain into the woods, and maybe sees some birds fly off, and she feels like maybe the hobgoblins have sent some people, maybe someone's on your trail. You don't have a visual, but the flight of birds that you see get disturbed, you're like, ugh.
How far?
If they're behind you, there's still like a good. You've maybe got a mile between you and them.
A mile.
Yeah.
2.2 kilometers for the rest of us.
Yeah, 2.2 kilometers for the rest. Our two dwarves, our brother and sister dwarf. You guys are finding this. There's something. It just Grenick, your good feeling, your sense of hope and sort of just optimism continues to like trickle up through yourself. Like you just feel like this is going to turn out okay. Like you've got a really positive outlook on it. But on top of that, the two of you, like being hill dwarves and hiking up through the mountains, there's something exhilarating about it for the two of you. Like it's like this is where you were meant to be. And Kira's taking you like to some pretty amazing places as you cross. Like you're looking off cliffs and climbing and getting a really picturesque view of the area.
Taking the scenic route.
Oh, absolutely. And there's just the two of you, like the good feeling that Greenwick's having. It's almost infectious to your sister. Like the two of you are just, even though there's like all this danger, Tobin's run off, Rook's gone to find him, and you guys are like, no, I think everything, like you just have a really good positive vibe going on.
Steve's lightly bleeding from various wounds.
Yeah, well, Steve is wounded. Is there anybody else that's wounded? Your sister. Grinnick thinks maybe he could, like... You have the staff.
I think I might have to try it on Steve first because I don't want my sister to die.
Okay, you don't want... Yeah, Steve... You don't want to be the guinea pig.
I'm going to use him as a litmus test.
So,
honesty.
I'm not sure... So we updated the staff, right? And you have the staff in your...
Yeah, she gave it back to him.
Yeah, and the staff is in Grinnick's handouts, though, correct? I think I updated it. So, you know that the staff is capable of casting Command, Cure Light Wounds, and Remove Fear.
Oh, there it is.
And,
yeah, so...
and they're first level spells, so they take 2 charges. What you don't know is how many charges the staff has.
Okay, well, we're going to give it a shot.
Okay.
And...
So you're going to try to cast Cure Light Wounds on Steve?
Yes.
I spread my arms wide, lean into it, because I got like a couple arrow holes in me.
You're like, lay it on me, lay it on me.
And I was stabbed once. It's a good day.
Yeah, you got some wounds, for sure. Okay.
I carried 2 people for an hour. Yeah, it's been an awesome afternoon.
So, Grinnick, as you bring the staff close to him, it shifts from its sort of disguise, like a wooden staff, and it shifts to the blue crystal. And as you lay it upon Steve, you can roll for us. You heal D8 hit points from him, 1d8.
Okay.
Woo! How does that feel?
7, nice roll. So
and now we roll initiative.
No. So Steve, you feel sort of a warmth overcome you as your wounds sort of knit themselves back together, and everybody's standing there watching. Like, again, you witness this staff healing someone. It's no light feat.
All right, so after we're all done with our amazement, I now know it's safe. I'm going to heal.
How much do I heal? I
my
missed
sister.
that.
7 hit points.
Stop.
7 hit points. Steve gets 7 hit points back. And then roll for your sister as well, a D8.
Okay. Oh, not so good.
Well, it's still 3. It's 3 hit points
Yeah.
back for, we'll take it.
Thank you.
Okay, so then I'm going to say that Kira starts leading everyone on again, further up into the mountains. And there's some serious climbing to continue this direction. Are we in for that, or are we going to start moving sort of laterally along the mountains as opposed to...
We have to go to where we're supposed to meet. That's a landmark they both know.
So Kira,
however that has to happen.
You're gonna give me another ranger tracking check at D100. Lower is better Not that it matters, like, not that that's going to affect what the dice comes out, but just so you know, lower is better. And this check is like for you trailblazing, but also sort of like making sure you're not leaving an obvious trail behind you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So
see, up to this point, she was leaving a blood trail because of Steve. Now he's okay.
I see. That totally understandable because this is a much better check. So, so Kira, you're leading them. You're leading them up. It's not a trail. You are literally like pushing, bushes aside, not trying not to damage them too much so that they'll fall in again behind you.
She's bush bashing.
Yeah,
it's called bush bashing.
When Kira finds
not what we call it here.
Kira finds there's a feather on the ground. It's really big.
Great. She would like to inspect the feather.
Okay. So it's
holds up her hand for everybody to stop.
Yeah. You've never seen anything like it before. It would be a massive bird.
So we roll initiative?
And it is white in color.
Would you just stop that?
It is white in color, very large feather.
There's only one feather right now.
Yeah, you only see the one.
She picks it up and shows the group, and she says, "We must be very careful."
Alex showed the owl.
Is it bigger than that?
It would be for a very large bird, very large.
Gonna sort of tuck that into her pack and.
Okay, so she tucks, and it's
very careful.
Yeah, you tuck it away. You tuck away the white feather, and you're sort of not far. You can make camp at any point now to sort of wait for Rook's return, if you'd like.
Or let whoever's behind us catch up.
The sun is starting to disappear behind the mountains to the west.
Time for dinner.
Yeah, so she would look around for like a little mountainside cave or like a particularly thick place of bushes.
Okay, I'm gonna say you don't find a cave, but you do find an overhang that you feel will shelter you a little bit. And as you sort of move the group over to that, you find another one of those feathers.
So we do. She picks that one up as well.
Okay.
And she, like, once she gets everybody sort of like in this overhang like safely, she says, "Stay together and no fire." And then goes to sort of like keep watch on the woods.
Okay.
Wait for Rook.
All right.
With her bow sort of at the ready.
So.
Cold rations? Really?
Really?
Shut up, Steve.
You're so hard done by. Tobin, on the run, my man. On the run. Can you give me a D20 under, and you're trying to get under your Constitution?
Okay, my Constitution is a 13.
Okay, so you're not feeling so bad about your choice. You're like I'm not even tired yet, and you feel like you've got a good chunk of that hobgoblin force that came out. Now, how long does Tobin think he has to lead them sort of northward? Because it's been, I'm gonna say we're past the first half hour that you've been gone for.
I think it's probably safe to like turn sideways and start working on my way to double back.
Okay.
Using all of my hiding and sneaky that I can.
I want you to give me a stealth check. So we're gonna use the not the hide in shadows, but your move silently.
Okay.
Nicely done, sir. Nicely done. So you maybe find a place to hide, maybe some bushes or something.
Okay.
you maybe watch a hobgoblin, like a group of 4 or 5 hobgoblins. They move past you, and you can hear there. You can certainly hear more around, and you start making your way back. So you're now starting to make your way back slowly towards your group. Correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
All right. Let's have Rook. You descend the mountain.
Yeah, I didn't just descend it. Rook's like got mud all over his face. I've broken off foliage.
It's got total
I've
predator.
canned myself up as best I can because I know that these guys are everywhere. I'm going full born.
Ghillie suit.
Yes. If he had one, he'd have put it on.
Rook makes his way back down. And as I said, you started making your way back after maybe Tobin's been gone for about a half an hour.
Yeah.
So you're just starting to descend, and you're not going right back to where his trail was. You're sort of making a guesstimate on where you can start to look for him.
Yeah.
And you know the area relatively well. You at that point you realize that the hobgoblin forces that came through that gap in the mountains, they have not all gone after. They have not all gone after Tobin. Some have definitely. They're in full search for. Having seen Tobin, you suspect that they know there's more people here. So, sort of in the back of your mind, you know that Kira probably has groups of hobgoblins trailing her.
Okay.
Give me. Well, actually, what were you gonna say?
I was saying I'm going to trust in Kira's ranger skills.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to try to. My thought is to look where he went running and to see where the group went. And my thing is to kind of do a 15-degree off from that and go off to the right.
Okay.
Figuring he's going to try to loop back around them, so I'll try to go there so I can grab the kid somewhere.
Yep. So
that's my thought.
Give me a tracking check, please, which is a D100.
Absolutely. Okay.
Oh, really good. Nicely done,
right.
sir.
Yeah.
Yeah. You. I'm gonna say that like after maybe an hour or so, you're pretty sure you have Tobin's trail. Like you found some footmarks that, definitely Kender. But you also have found that he's definitely being followed by a number of groups of hobgoblins.
Well, he's annoying that way, so I wouldn't expect any less.
The hobgoblins are probably in groups of sort of 4 and 5, and the sun it won't be too much longer before the sun's down. So I'm assuming you continue on your way.
Yeah, because I can see in the dark, so that's good.
Okay.
I got that infravision, or
yep, you've got infravision.
Yeah.
Tobin has 30 feet of infravision. You have 60 feet of infravision.
Yeah. So that's to my advantage.
Yeah, hobgoblins have it too, I believe. So just to be aware. So it's the sun is sort of heading down. There's not a whole lot of light left when the two of you don't sort of run into each other, but you sort of catch sight of one another at the same time. And I'm going to say you're about 100 yards apart, though.
I'm just going to put my finger up to my mouth with quietness. Quiet, get down, I'll come to you. Like doing the get down, I'm coming to you.
You down, me
down.
Come.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Tobin, realizing he may have been a bit impulsive, has decided to listen.
Okay. So
and I'm going to work with him.
The two of you gather yourselves up, and you're going to start making back for the rendezvous.
After I cam him up, I'm going to because if we got to stop,
rub some dirt on him.
Grab him here.
Spray some Windex on him. Spray some Windex on him.
Yeah, just cover him up. Get some stuff, some foliage all over him, just to help break up his form. So if we got to stop, I mean, it will not fool. If the guys that got night vision, it's not going to fool them. But whoever else is out there, it might fool. So good to go.
So the two of you start heading back. So
Yeah.
let's go back to the group on the mountain. So you're all tucked in under the ledge. The sun has gone down now. It's nighttime. Okay. There's no fire, and you notice that Worm sort of separates herself from the group. Everyone sort of takes note that she's not really there. She's she's not left, but she's sort of off to one side, and
she's checking out.
Her back her back is to you. She's sitting, sort of maybe under a bit of like a low hanging tree limb or something, under a pine tree, and yeah, but she's isolating herself from the rest of you. And it's really obvious to everyone.
I thought Worm was a he.
What? It's
you guys
unknown.
don't know that. I'm Kira's the only one that knows.
Yes.
I assume the boy is studying the order and the measure. That's a good squire would do.
Okay. Absolutely. So, Kira,
this is normal behavior for him.
Kira, you make your way over. As you come, you see her. She sort of doesn't so much hear you, but when you get close, she realizes she's not alone, and she quickly closes a book and tucks it away into her pack.
Kira sort of makes note, but doesn't really say anything, and she just says, "I want to check your hands."
Oh,
she knows that they're hurt.
Yeah, she shows them to you. They're healing pretty well.
Yeah, Kira would just make sure that they're clean and all that.
Okay.
She did drag her up a mountain, so.
Okay.
And she kind of.
The others that what's everybody else doing at camp?
I'm eating dinner.
Eating. Okay.
Of course.
Grinnick, you notice
not much else I can do.
As you're sort of chewing away on maybe a piece of jerky or something, wishing you could have heated up a pot to make something else to eat. You notice that the stars above, there's sort of so there's a number of stars that represent certain constellations, and they're they're wrapped around old stories and things like that. And you don't know, you're by no means an astronomer, but you feel like there's a number of stars sort of missing.
That's odd. The sky is different tonight. There are some stars missing. You look here, and over there.
So as you draw people's attention to it, does anyone pay any note to that?
Of course.
Okay. So
why wouldn't we?
So Kira, you're with Worm right now, but the rest of the party, they take note of the the missing stars, and as you do, some of you aren't sure that he's right. Like, no, I think all the stars are there. Like, all the stars are there, and you're looking, and then something flies overhead very quickly. Like right in you're looking at the stars, and this shape moves with very broad wings, swoops overhead. But in the darkness, it's there and then it's gone. But
okay,
all four of you saw it. All four of you saw it.
Death bells, did you see that?
Yes, and I always see my bow in my hand.
Okay.
Almost that quickly.
Okay. All right. So there's this movement in the sky. Steve gets his bow out. Does anyone else draw a weapon, or?
I get the hammer ready.
I can put my shield down for a second and hold my bow for fun.
Okay.
I'll get my sword ready just in case.
Grinnick has his hammer ready. How about Grendelide?
Can't hear you.
I have my sword at hand.
Okay.
I whip out my sword.
So everybody sort of draws their weapons and they're watching the sky. And you just
looking for white feathers.
You pause for a moment, and there's just a tenseness as you're sort of anticipating maybe an attack or something like that. And that's when you hear it. You hear a breaking of branches, and you hear someone fall just below the camp.
He got his
like they fall through some branches, and you hear them tumbling down a bit of a hill. Not something flying in the sky, but actually something on the ground.
Like I take aim that direction.
Okay.
Do we hear falling like the thud of something that is not currently animate?
Like something fell off maybe a cliff, broke a couple branches on the way down on a tree, and then a loud thud and a bit of a roll and some gravel shift.
Is there a moaning?
No, nothing follows.
I'm going to go investigate.
Kira, you hear it as well.
Yeah, Kira would like kind of look in that direction and see that
can't see in the dark, but I'm going to look.
Leaves tonight.
Serpent-men, if you will.
Yeah. Benedict. I keep wanting to say Thorgrim because that's what I'm used to.
That's okay. That's okay.
I should have kept it simple.
I'm gonna go closer to my sister.
All right. Let me make a quick roll here.
It's either really good or really bad.
You reach a ridge and you look over, and you can see what looks to be a man. It could be a hobgoblin lying at the bottom of a cliff. The cliff would have brought him right up to your camp. And it looks like he's fallen and he's clipped a tree on the way down, and he's lying down there, not moving, and you can just see it in the moonlight. However, further down the hill, maybe another 50 yards or so, you see maybe approximately 3 torches moving about in the woods down there, and there's definitely more men or hobgoblins sort of climbing up the mountain, even in the darkness of night, which has proved folly for this one that has fallen.
Seems like a good defensible position.
You're not sure of their numbers, but there's definitely 3 different light sources.
It's okay, I'll hold them here.
We toss pebbles at them or something so they make more noise and attract the attention of the scary flying thing.
You can try.
Just irritate them.
Do you want to do that? Do you want to pick up a couple rocks and throw them down the hill?
Yeah,
okay.
I really want to toss little rocks at them to make them make more noise and see if they get the bird's attention.
Okay.
I think we should make bird calls like in Three Amigos.
Look up here! Okay, so Krynn throws some rocks down, and you hear them sort of you hear them sort of hit branches and things like that, and then definitely they call out and they're like they say so, did you just throw that? You hear a few other, and it's a mix of common and goblin. Like some are calling out in goblin, some are calling out in common. But what you do think is there's a lot down there. It's not just like 4 or 5 guys.
Can Steve hear this now?
You can all hear it. Yes.
I'm gonna throw a pebble.
Okay.
I'm gonna throw the biggest fucking pebble Steve can pick up, and I'm gonna try to start a Pebble Cascade.
Okay.
Also known as maybe a landslide.
All right.
I was looking for fallen branches or logs to throw as well.
So you look. Okay. So you look and you see a rock that maybe if you dislodged.
Are you guys using the Ewok defense?
Yes, sir.
First of all, the Ewok defense is fantastic.
Yum, yum.
Why I'm asking.
So Steve, you see a large boulder that maybe if you put your back into it, you could break away from the rock face that it's on up here and get it rolling.
I'm gonna.
I will get my Pompidon.
Sorry, what was that?
I'm gonna help him push it.
Okay, so you go
Put
help
my
Greg?
back into it. You put your back into it.
Why don't you give me a strength check there, Steve? Just give me a d20, and you're trying to get under your strength. But Grinnick's helping, so I'm going to give you a +2 bonus on that.
I can help as well if there's room.
You're going to help as well?
Yes.
So basically, only a natural 20 is going to fail on this, as the three of you... Yeah, okay, so the three of you sort of put your backs into it, and this very large rock sort of begins to tip. You can hear, roots and that snapping in the dirt as it's starting to, like, lean a little too far, and the three of you still keep pushing, and like with every moment there's more snapping and more snapping and more snapping, and then finally this massive boulder sort of slides and gravity takes over, and it goes tumbling down. Can I have each of you give me a dexterity check, the three of you? So you're each going to roll a d20 and try to get under your dexterity.
This is where it sucks. Okay.
Because as this big rock shifts, so does the ground underneath you. Grinnick's like, I was born on a mountain. This doesn't bother me at all.
I don't disagree with
Benedict,
your logic.
what the hell? Steve's gonna fail.
At least my rolls are consistent.
The three of you are like, man, we got this. And this rock begins to tumble down, and it's gaining momentum. Trees snapping and breaking. Definitely more rocks tumbling. And the torches begin to dart in erratic directions as they hear this coming down the hill. And the rocks manage to take at least one of the torches with it. You just see it get snuffed out. And it's difficult to see how many casualties were inflicted in this rock slide that you sort of caused because it's so dark down there.
I give Grendelly a thumbs up and go, good idea. Next time use bigger rocks. And then I'm going to look for another big rock.
Okay. So
this is fun.
A moment later, after an enormous amount of noise, there is a swath of just a massive path that the boulders and the rocks have caused. And the two remaining torches, you basically hear people down the hill going this is too dangerous at night. We'll have to... You actually hear someone call out, we'll have to wait until morning. We need light. We need light here. And the two torches sort of make their way back down the hill. And I think that's where we're going to call it for tonight. So Rook and our Kender, Tobin, are trying to make their way back to you. You definitely have people on the mountain beneath you looking for you, but you've thus far managed to avoid any sort of detection. So
I thought Tobin had the first torch.
Wouldn't that have been hilarious if it was Tobin? That would, yeah. I don't think he would have been hit by the torch, though. He's very nimble.
Yeah.
So we are not back with Dragonlance next week.
Boys.
We're taking an extra week off. Next week we will have a stream. We're going to be playing Alien, the starter set of Alien, with our friends from the Potions and Potpourri podcast. So that is next Sunday, and then the Sunday following we will retake up Dragonlance. So we've got a small break here, but Dragonlance will be back on the 29th. We have this Wednesday, we have our final episode of our Dungeon Crawl Classic game. And then on the 25th, we have a Prep or Die episode lined up. So we got some busy weeks of streaming here. I think that's all we've got to say for the night. Thank you again to all my players, and we will be back in 2 weeks for some more Dragonlance. Thanks, everybody.
2 weeks. 2 weeks.